If you take the Goonies and combine it with Space Pirates and throw in some Easter eggs, you get Star Wars Skeleton Crew. If you haven't seen Skeleton Crew, it is a show that is focused around 4 kids that go on an adventure in space. They meet up with a space pirate who is Jude Law. Obviously not Jude Law in the show, but his character is Yod, played by Jude Law. They find a lightsaber, and it is a beautiful one. And when I saw it on the show, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that one in person, and hopefully companies make it. So NSABERS was really kind, and they sent me the Skeleton Crew SE, which is modeled after Jude Law's lightsaber from the TV show. And I'm really excited to be opening this one up and showing you what it looks like. Welcome one and all to this unboxing and review. I'm your host, The Frugal Jedi, and thank you for joining me as we have a look at the Skeleton Crew SE NeoPixel lightsaber, which comes from nsabers.com. I would like to give a big thank you to NSABERS for providing this one for me to review. I did not pay for it, so I do have to say this is a paid sponsorship, but I'll always give you an honest review and let you know what I like and don't like about this particular design. This particular lightsaber comes in 4 configurations. So you have baselit, meaning that the blade is hollow and the light emanates from the hilt. And the baselit model has 16 different sound fonts. You're going to have sensitive smooth swing, flash on clash, blaster blocks, lockup. You're just not going to get the ignition effects and the in and out and things like that. Also, baselit does not have micro SD, so 16 sound fonts is all that there is on there, and it's just the way it is. The next step up is sRGB. So sRGB is also baselit, but now you have a micro SD card. So you're going to have 27 sound fonts. You're going to be able to add more. You're going to have more music, and it has Bluetooth functionality. So you can control it using the Force Park V2 app, and it's just a little fancier than the baselit model. But if you still want the hollow blade, because the hollow blades are great for spinning, they're lighter, and they can take more beating than NeoPixel, sRGB is a really nice upgrade. And the next one up from that is NeoPixel. So the NeoPixel model uses SN Pixel or Super NeoPixel V4 Pro. And this is TXQ's latest soundboard, and it has accent swings, and it has tons of cool effects, and you can program it with more blade styles. And I made a video on how to do that. You can add more music and sound fonts, and it has Bluetooth. I mean, it has all the bells and whistles and absolutely amazing soundboards. And that is the one we're going to be looking at today. And the last choice is the Profi. So Profi is also NeoPixel, but it uses the Profi board versus the SN Pixel V4 Pro board. So Profi is really customizable and programmable, and I have a tutorial series on how to do that. And if you do want the soundboard that has all the cool features, Profi is still king. But it is a little trickier to program than the SN Pixel V4 Pro. And the prices for the 4 different configurations I'll put on the screen. So you got your RGB or your baselit, your sRGB, your SN Pixel V4 Pro, and then your Profi right there. NSABERS always has discount codes going on their website. You can get usually 10%, 15%, sometimes 20%. If you spend a certain amount, they give you a free lightsaber. They always have tons of cool promotions going on. And if you follow them on Facebook, you'll get ads from them, and they'll tell you that, you know, right now we have this deal going on or this deal going on. So there's always something. So it's kind of silly for me to tell you that I have a discount code, because you're usually going to have a better discount code if you just go to the site. But if you cannot find any discount codes at all, you can use my discount code, which is Frugal Jedi, and that'll give you 7% off your order. I'm not sure if you can combine my discount code with anything else that they're offering. Probably not. So use one of their discount codes if it saves you more money, because that's what being frugal is about, trying to save money and not spend a whole lot. So please, you know, find the best discount code and use that. I want you to get the best price possible. I'm not really concerned about making any commission from lightsabers on my channel. With all that being said, I would like to point the camera down towards the table, unbox it, and show you everything it comes with. Okay, so there's one thing I'm noticing, and I'm glad it was sent to me like this because it's very easy to fix, is the tip drag doesn't light up the tip. So I'll show you that. So you hear it, but not lighting up the tip. And the reason for that is because the SM Pixel V4 Pro is set for a 36-inch blade. And you can easily set it using the Bluetooth app, or you can also use the button. So I'm going to use the button. So to do that, I have to shut it off. So I'll hold it down.
Power off.
Okay, now I tap it, I believe 6 times fast. So 1, 2, 3.
Pixel number for 82.
Okay, well, 3 times fast. So you heard that, pixel number for 82. 82 centimeter long blade, 32-inch blade, same thing.
Power on.
So now let me try the tip drag. There it is. So just a handy little trick if you didn't know about that. Now you do. This hilt is completely polished. So that's why they give you gloves. I just find that it's really slippery to hold with gloves, so I'll wipe it down after I'm done to make sure I get all my fingerprints off of it. But you can have a look at the details there. And then you have a single button design and your cover tech wheel. So you can clip that onto your belt with one of those adapters. And I still don't own one of those adapters, and I should get one eventually. And responds well, and you can hear the sensitive smooth swing and the accent swing. Yeah, very comfortable. Nice and straight. Oh. And the balance is pretty good on this too. Of course, NeoPixels are always going to be heavier that way because of the weight inside the blade. But yeah, pretty well balanced. Nice and easy to hold as well. Okay, let me show you how to charge it. So you're going to unscrew the bottom section like so and slide it off. I'm going to come back to this in a moment because I'll show you something else you can do with that. So inside is the core, and there's this little tab, or this little whatever you want to call it. You hold on to that and you pull it straight out like that. So here is where you can access your micro SD card to add more sound fonts and music and to do updates, things like that. And you can have a look at that. And then on this side is your rechargeable battery, and you have your USB-C port for charging it. And when you charge it, there is a little light which is right next to it, right there. You can kind of see it, a little hole. That little hole will light up with a red light when it's charging. And when it's done, I believe the light either turns off or turns green. I can't remember because I don't actually sit there and watch my sabers charge. But it will notify you that it's done charging. And when you're putting this back in, it's important to make sure that you line it up correctly. So if you have a look at the end of this thing and the shape of it, try to get it to focus on here, not my eyes. There you go. So you see how one part sticks out further than the other part. It's the same thing on the inside of the hilt, and let me try to line that up here. There we go. It's hard to get it to focus, but you can kind of see it in there. So make sure you look inside and then obviously line it up so it'll go in all the way. You don't want to twist because you might break the pins inside, so just push and it'll click. And again, you can one more time here, so don't force it, just don't, see, there it is, push. Now the bottom section is quite interesting. There's a lot of pieces on it. The only thing I'm going to really show you is that if you want, you can unscrew this section right here, and that opens up holes which allows more sound to come out. But I find that it really doesn't make much of a difference. So I'll show you how it sounds with it on, or sorry, with it off. And then I'll put it on. Yeah, it really doesn't make much of a difference, so I'm just going to leave it on. And you have music. And you just point it down towards the floor, twist your wrist, and hold the button. If you do it again, it'll stop it, and then if there's multiple tracks, it'll play different tracks. Very nice sound. Does a good job of resonating inside. Switching sound fonts, quick and easy. Hold the button, have it pointing up, twist.
Count Dooku.
And you can see how it knows the color of the blade based on the sound font. All right, so that gives you an overview of what it looks like and what it can do and how it sounds. I'm going to wait till it gets dark and finally go outside after 6 months of being trapped from the crappy cold weather we have here. So I'm going to go outside and spin it around, see how I like it, and then join me back at the table for my final thoughts. So it is now time for my final thoughts. I love the design of this saber. It is really comfortable. It's big enough for two hands. It's great for spinning. I love the color scheme on it. Of course, the downside is that because it's polished, you're going to get fingerprints all over it. So you have to make sure that you wipe it with a cloth, because the oils in your fingers will eventually start to tarnish the metal. So you want to keep it clean so it's, you know, looks beautiful and shiny. Sound quality, so nice. Does a really good job. Lots of basses and lows, good treble, and you can just hear it resonating inside. So that's fantastic. The button is smartly designed because it is pretty much flat. You can see that. So even when your hand is around it, like when I'm squeezing, I don't accidentally click it. You really have to get your finger or your thumb in the middle of that to click it. So smart, I like that. I would have liked it if they could have had a light. Now, I understand they're trying to make it look like the one from the TV show, and there is no light on the button on that one. THQ should design their V4 Pro soundboard with an update that can play beep sounds. So Xenopixel, which is LGT Nexus, you could turn on a beep function. So rather than having to guess how many times or how many times the light flashes, when you hold the button down, it beeps. So it'll beep, you know, 1, 2, 3, and then you let go and you know, okay, that's 3. Here you have to just do it by guessing. 1, 2.
Hunter ignition.
1, 2, 3.
Unstable blade.
So you see, and I did it right that time, but if you go for too long and you switch sound fonts, you know, it's going to get a little bit annoying. That's for a small little thing, I mean, whatever. I like the removable core. Where it just pulls out like so. So very easy to access the micro SD card and easy to charge. And it just feels incredibly well made. Like the metal, like this is all metal. If you didn't know that, I should try to mention that more often because some people don't realize that these are metal. The metal is machined so well. There are no sharp edges on it anywhere. I mean, the screws, everything about it is just top notch, just fantastic. Well, that'll do it for this unboxing and review. If you do have any questions or comments, please drop them into the comment section and I will do my best to answer you as quickly as I can. Also, if you found this video helpful and you enjoyed it, please take the time to give this video a like. It takes less than a second to tap on that like button. And what that does is it helps the algorithm adjust and it lets YouTube know that people are watching my videos and then other people will be able to find my content more easily. Also, if you want to see more videos like this and more tutorials and more unboxings of different toys and helmets, subscribe to my channel. And lastly, you can tap on the bell and tapping that bell will notify you anytime I upload anything new. This is the Skeleton Crew SE by NSABERS. I have been your host, the Frugal Jedi. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.